Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Kristen Schulte, and I work as the Education Director for Missouri River Relief.
And hello, everyone. My name is Anna Miller, and I am an AmeriCorps serving at River Relief, and I'll be helping out Kristen today.
So, Missouri River Relief, we are a non-for-profit organization. Our mission is to connect people to the Missouri River. We do that through river cleanups, education programs, recreation events on the Missouri River. And we are excited to bring to you today our virtual summer camp program called Watershed Expeditions at Home. This is a live FAQ that we will be hosting. So thank you for tuning in and joining us today. This session is being recorded and we'll post it on our Facebook page as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to insert them into the comment section and we can answer them live. Or if you're watching this at a later time, feel free to leave a question and we will go in there and message you and answer at a different time. So Watershed Expeditions is returning for summer 2021 season. We are a virtual summer camp that provides campers with a flexible summer program. So Watershed Expeditions, it includes a camp in a box that's filled with activities to be done with campers on their own time. Plus we have virtual camp sessions. Watershed Expeditions might be the answer for your family if you're looking for some summer fun, or a homeschool family or a grandparent looking to provide some activities during after school care, or if you are just in need for a plan for a fun weekend with your family. We invite you and your family to join on this month-long Watershed Expeditions because no matter where you live, we live in a watershed. A watershed is kind of like a bathtub or a sink. It's an area of the land that drains to a single body of water, such as a lake or a river. Watersheds come in many different sizes. A few acres might drain a small stream or wetland, or a few rivers might drain into a larger river like the Missouri River. We are all connected by our watersheds. And now more than ever, I think we are looking for opportunities to connect with each other. And so Watershed Expeditions does exactly that. Students will have an opportunity to connect and socialize with their peers to dive into art and science-based activities. They will be able to explore their local watershed, investigate how actions of people who live in our watershed affect the health of the waters that run through it. And they'll even be able to learn how to tell the story of their watershed and how to help protect the health of the watershed.
So a
So
lot
that's
of
a little
people
bit
kind
about
of
Watershed
wonder,
Expeditions.
let you finish up, Kristen. A lot of people wonder how this program operates. Watershed Expeditions is kind of meant to serve as a fun supplementary educational program that encourages hands-on learning in students. So it's not a full camp. It's not like a day camp. You don't send students to it. It's just going to be a virtual camp. And this camp consists of a camp in a box. So this is going to be a box that we will ship out. It will be full of materials for activities, and a weekly virtual camp session will be the only interactive aspect of our Watershed Expeditions at Home camp. So these Zoom meetings are not required for students to understand the Camp in the Box activities, but they are encouraged in order for students to familiarize themselves with their peers and maybe share ideas. This camp costs $50 for registration, and there is an option of financial aid for those who qualify. It can be a homeschool unit if you are a homeschool family, or it can serve just as a fun vacation activity if you feel like you don't want to attend the virtual camp session. It's going to be starting on July 5th, and it will run for 4 weeks. It'll culminate in a final project on the final week, and every other week is just going to have a couple of small activities provided by the Camp in the Box, and then some fun games and other activities during our virtual camp session.
So another question that we often get is, how does this benefit campers? Um, Camp in a Box, that part of Watershed Expeditions is really flexible. So if you live in a area where access to attending a camp in person is not available for you and your family, this is something that can come right to your door and we can come right to you. So there's that flexibility. There's also the flexibility of just getting the activities and the material. Say that you don't follow along with the camp program in the box. You put into the closet and pull out on a rainy day. It's like a full packed plan for some fun that you don't have to really think twice about. So there's that sort of flexibility, which can be a benefit to campers and families as well.
And now we're going to jump into some frequently asked questions that come up quite a bit when we're discussing watershed expeditions at home. A lot of these questions are on our website, which we will be leaving links to. So the first main frequently asked question is, who can participate in watershed expeditions? Now, watershed expeditions at home is designed for rising 4th through 7th graders and then also 8th through 12th graders. So each grade level range is going to receive their instruction and activities in their Camp in a Box, and each range is also going to have separate virtual sessions. So we won't be mixing the 4th and 7th graders with the 8th and 12th graders during the virtual camp sessions. Also, this is a virtual experience, so regardless of wherever you live, you can participate. This isn't just specific to one area. Now, a lot of people also want to know if they have siblings, maybe they have 2 or 3 siblings who would be in different age groups, would they be able to participate or have them in the same class? And if not, how much crossover there might be between their 2 Camp in a Boxes? So a big question that comes up is, can my older sibling help out and work with my younger sibling, or can my younger sibling that I have who may not be in 4th through 7th grade help out with an older sibling's project? And the answer is absolutely. The baseline curriculum between the 2 age groups is exactly the same, and both sections will be working on the same types of projects and styles of activities. The only difference is that the 4th through 7th graders may have a few less steps in their manuals when compared to the 8th through 12th graders. So it'll be age appropriate when it comes to doing these activities. Another question is, what is that virtual camp? And when do these virtual camp sessions take place? So as we mentioned before, the virtual camp is the virtually interactive aspect of watershed expeditions that brings the social experience of working together and sharing with peers directly to the home. Now, a lot of our campers and former students really love to share their activities that they worked on through the week with others. And so this is just a good time for them to be able to sit down and interact with those peers who are all in the same boat working on the same activities. And we're also going to be learning a lot about the river and the watershed, as well as some local artists through these virtual camp sit downs. We're going to be leading your student through a variety of activities that kind of take place during these predetermined Zoom meetings. So virtual camp will be through Zoom. Another question that is quickly followed up by that is, what if my student is not interested in virtual camp? And to that I say, our guest speakers are pretty cool and we do have a lot of fun on them, but we also completely understand if it doesn't work out for your family. You can choose not to participate in virtual camp and just complete the Camp in the Box activities, which can be done at any point in time, really. All right, I'll hand it off to Kristen to talk about tuition.
Yeah, so what's included in tuition? Tuition cost is $50 per student, and this includes instruction for each of the activities and supplies. That's 10 activities over the course of 4 weeks. It also includes access to our virtual camp, our Zoom video chat sessions, and sort of priority access to Anna and myself to ask any questions that you might have related to your local watershed or the activities that you're working on. Do you have to have any special equipment for virtual camp? Yes, students will need to have access to a smartphone or tablet or computer with a camera on it to be able to participate in the virtual sessions. I think the video component is especially important so that we can see the student and interact with them. But we understand, that might not be a possibility if you're just calling in on a phone. So we do use a program called Zoom. It can be downloaded free through the Zoom app onto any device that has audio video capability before virtual camp begins. So there's also the possibility if the virtual aspect of camp isn't of interest, of being able to opt out of that as well, sort of what Anna was saying before. Um, so Anna, I just wanted to ask, before we continue, have any questions come in through comments or?
Let me take a quick look. Not yet. It looks like we're all clear on both fronts. So I will let you move on to maybe some other quick questions that people might have that have come up in past years.
Yeah. A recent question that I got was, could my kids or someone was even asking, like a group of neighborhood kids share the camp in a box and do all the activities and go along with it. Camp in a box definitely is built for one student. So if your kiddos are pretty good about sharing, it could work, but there are parts of it that there's only materials to sew one animal critter. So, I haven't met any kids that are like, okay, you sew 2 stitches and then pass the critter. So that's where it could get kind of difficult. If it is a factor of tuition, of the cost of tuition, maybe just purchase the $150 kit and then apply for financial aid for the other student, so that it doesn't, this thing that's supposed to be simple and easy and enjoyable doesn't become a place for argument or fights. So that's just something to consider. If you are sort of on the fence, you're not really too sure about Watershed Expeditions, maybe you've done it before and you're thinking, okay, well, would they be interested in doing it again? Just think about how many times your kid asks to watch the same video over and over. Things for this age group do not get old. We will definitely keep it interesting if you are a family that has participated before. And I think part of it too is just being able to connect with a student and continue to build that relationship and to continue to build their interest. Um, one of the stories that we heard from a parent over the summer was actually a grandparent over the summer, had shared with us just how much they were enjoying the program. And I want to share with you what she shared with us. She said, "My granddaughter called me today, and she loves this program so much. She never calls. She was mega excited, and her parents were delighted with Camp Day #1. Her parents and both her sisters, who are 8 and 4 years old, went through the activities with her, and the 8-year-old that has learning challenges, who feels school just is not for her, won the family contest of floating the boat. As a longtime high school teacher, I had students with a lot of different backgrounds coming to my class, and if I were able to advise their parents or their previous teachers on how to prepare a kid for science, my request would have been to give kids a positive attitude towards science. Thanks for a varied, fun, and high quality summer program that so far hits all the right science for 10-year-olds." Um, so that just kind of speaks to the nature of this program, that uh, students are able to connect, and we are able to make science fun. Students are able to change their perspective about school. Maybe they come from not liking school or enjoying it, and we can put a twist onto that. Um, so couple last things I want to wrap up with, before we sign out of here is financial aid. It is available. Please apply, if that is the only barrier that you have to participating. Um, Financial aid form is a one-pager. It's super simple. It does need to be completed by June 25th. We will begin awarding financial aid by the end of June. And we'll do that on a rolling basis until we've awarded all of our financial aid. Um, if you are applying for financial aid, please do not register before you're notified of your award. When you apply for financial aid, we'll sort of save a spot for you when your application comes in, similar to like registering for the program. And then lastly, can a teaching pod or student sign up for this? So maybe you're a teacher teaching summer school. We have done a little bit of that, and we are definitely open to that. Please feel free to reach out via email at Kristen, Kristen, at riverleaf.org, and we'd be happy to chat through what that might look like for you and your students. Um, so thank you so much for joining us for this live FAQ. Please feel free to leave any comments or questions that you might have below. We'll be happy to reach out and answer those. Um, we look forward to maybe meeting you and your child over the summer. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.